Hi, sweetheart. Hello. I hope you are doing well today. It's Mommy, and I'm so happy you are here. Come sit with me, just like this. I saved this quiet, warm time especially for us. Get comfortable, my love. Pull up a blanket, dim the lights a little, and just relax. Let the world outside fade away for a while. I'm right here with you. Are you ready? Good. Close your eyes and let's continue our journey with the little prince. So, this chapter 8, chapter 10, chapter 12, chapter 14, chapter 15, this one. So this one, chapter 16. The seventh planet then was the Earth. The Earth is not just another planet. It contains 111 kings, including, of course, the African kings, 7,000 geographers, 900,000 businessmen, 7.5 million drunkards, 311 million vain men. In other words, about 2 million grown-ups. To give you a notion of the Earth dimensions, I can tell you that before the invention of electricity, it was necessary to maintain over the whole of 6 continents a veritable army of 462,511 lamplighters. Seen from some distance, this made a splendid effect. The movements of this army were ordered like those of a ballet. First came their return of the lamplighters of New Zealand and Australia. Then these, having lit their street lamps, would go home to sleep. Next, it would be the turn of the lamplighters of China and Siberia to perform their steps in the lamplighter's belly, and then they too would vanish into the wings. Then came the turn of the lamplighters of Russia and India, then those of Africa and Europe, then those of South America and of North America. And they never missed their cues for their appearances on stage. It was awe-inspiring. Only the lamplighter of the single street lamp at the North Pole and his colleague of the single street lamp at the South Pole led carefree idle lives. They worked twice a year. Trying to be witty leads to line, more or less, what I just told you about lamplighters isn't completely true, and I risk giving a false idea of our planet to those who don't know it. Men occupy very little space on Earth. If the 2 billion inhabitants of the globe weren't stand close together, as they might for some big public event, they would easily fit into a city block that was 20 miles long and 20 miles wide. You could crowd all humanity onto the smallest Pacific island. Grown-ups, of course, won't believe you. They are convinced they take up much more room. They consider themselves as important as the baobabs. So you should advise them to make their own calculations. They love numbers and they'll enjoy it. But don't waste your time on this extra task. It's unnecessary. Trust me. So, once he reached Earth, the little prince was quite surprised not to see anyone. He was beginning to fear he had come to the wrong planet, when a moon-colored loop uncoiled on the sand. "Good evening," the little prince said, just in case. "Good evening," said the snake. "What planet have I landed on?" asked the little prince. "On the planet F, in Africa," the snake replied. "Ah, and are there no people on Earth?" "It's the desert here." "There are no people in the desert. Earth is very big," said the snake. The little prince sat down on a rock and looked up into the sky. "I wonder," he said, "if the stars are lit up so that each of us can find his own someday. Look at my planet. It's just overhead, but so far away. It's lovely, the snake said. What have you come to Earth for? I'm having difficulties with a flower, the little prince said. Ah, said the snake, and they were both silent. Where are the people? The little prince finally resumed the conversation. It's a little lonely in the desert. It's oh so lonely with people, said the snake. The little prince looked at the snake for a long time. You are a funny creature, he said at last. No thicker than a finger. But I'm more powerful than a king's finger, the snake said. The little prince smiled. You are not very powerful. You don't even have feet. You couldn't travel very far. I can take you further than a ship, the snake said. He coiled around the little prince's ankle like a golden bracelet. Anyone I touch, I send back to the land from which he came, the snake went on. But you are innocent, and you come from a star. The little prince made no reply. I feel sorry for you, being so weak on this granite earth, said the snake. I can help you some day if you grow too homesick for your planet. I can. Oh, I understand just what you mean, said the little prince. But why do you always speak in riddles? I solve them all, said the snake, and they were both silent. The little prince crossed the desert and encountered only one flower. A flower with 3 petals. A flower of no consequence. Good morning, said the little prince. Good morning, said the flower. Where are the people? The little prince inquired politely. The flower had one day seen a caravan passing. People? There are 6 or 7 of them, I believe, in existence. I caught sight of them years ago, but you never know where to find them. The wind blows them away. They have no roots, which hampers them a good deal. Goodbye, said the little prince. Goodbye, said the flower. The little prince climbed a high mountain. The only mountains he had ever known were the 3 volcanoes, which came up to his knee, and he used the extinct volcano as the footstool. From a mountain as high as this one, he said to himself, I'll get a view of the whole planet and all the people on it. But he saw nothing but rocky peaks as sharp as needles. Hello, he said, just in case. Hello, 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 the echo answered. "Who are you?" asked the little prince. "Who are you? Who are you? Who are you?" the echo answered. "Let's be friends. I'm lonely," he said. "I'm lonely. I'm lonely. I'm lonely," the echo answered. What a peculiar planet, he thought. It's all dry and sharp and hard. And people here have no imagination. They repeat whatever you say to them. Where I live, I had a flower. She always spoke first. But it so happened that the little prince, having walked a long time through sand and rocks and snow, finally discovered a road, and all roads go to where there are people. "Good morning," he said. It was a blossoming rose garden. "Good morning," said the roses. The little prince gazed at them. All of them looked like his flower. "Who are you?" he asked, astounded. "Where are roses?" the roses said. "Ah," said the little prince, and he felt very unhappy. His flower had told him she was the only one of her kind in the whole universe. And here were 5,000 of them, all just alike, in just one garden. She would be very annoyed, he said to himself, if she saw this. She would cough terribly and pretend to be dying to avoid being laughed at. And I'd have to pretend to be nursing her. Otherwise, she'd really let herself die in order to humiliate me. And then he said to himself, I thought I was rich because I had just one flower, and all I own is an ordinary rose. That and my 3 volcanoes which come up to my knee, one of which may be permanently extinct. It doesn't make me much of a prince. And he lay down in the grass and wept. It was then that the fox appeared. "Good morning," said the fox. "Good morning," the little prince answered politely, though when he turned around he saw nothing. "I'm here," the voice said, "under the apple tree." "Who are you?" the little prince asked. "You are very pretty." "I'm a fox," the fox said. "Come and play with me," the little prince proposed. "I'm feeling so sad." "I can't play with you," the fox said. "I'm not tamed." "Ah, excuse me," said the little prince. "But upon reflection," he added, "what does tamed mean?" "You are not from around here," the fox said. "What are you looking for?" "I'm looking for people," said the little prince. What does tempt mean? People, said the fox, have guns and they hunt. It's quite troublesome, and they also raise chickens. That's the only interesting thing about them. Are you looking for chickens? No, said the little prince. I'm looking for friends. What does tempt mean? It's something that's been too often neglected. It means to create ties. To create ties? That's right, the fox said. For me, you are only a little boy, just like 100,000 other little boys. And I have no need of you. And you have no need of me either. For you, I'm only a fox, like 100,000 other foxes. But if you tame me, we'll need each other. You'll be the only boy in the world for me. I'll be the only fox in the world for you. I'm beginning to understand, the little prince said. There's a flower. I think she's tempted me. Possibly, the fox said. On earth, one sees all kinds of things. Oh, this isn't on earth, the little prince said. The fox seemed quite intrigued. On another planet? Yes. Are there hunters on that planet? No. Now that's interesting. And chickens? No. Nothing's perfect, sighed the fox. But he returned to his idea. My life is monotonous. I hunt chickens. People hunt me. All chickens are just alike, and all men are just alike. So I'm rather bored. But if you tame me, my life will be filled with sunshine. I'll know the sound of footsteps. That will be different from all the rest. Other footsteps send me back underground. Yours will call me out of my burrow like music. And then, look, you see the wheat fields over there. I don't eat bread. For me, wheat is of no use whatever. Wheat fields say nothing to me, which is sad. But you have hair the color of gold, so it will be wonderful. Once you've tamed me, the wheat, which is golden, will remind me of you, and I'll love the sound of the wind in the wheat. The fox fell silent and stared at the little prince for a long while. Please, tame me, he said. I'd like to, the little prince replied, but I haven't much time. I have friends to find and so many things to learn. The only things you learn are the things you tame, said the fox. People haven't time to learn anything. They buy things ready-made in stores. But since there are no stores where you can buy friends, People no longer have friends. If you want a friend, tame me. What do I have to do? Asked the little prince. You have to be very patient, the fox answered. First, you'll sit down a little ways away from me, over there in the grass. I'll watch you out of the corner of my eye, and you won't say anything. Language is the source of misunderstandings, but day by day you'll be able to sit a little closer. The next day the little prince returned. It would have been better to return at the same time, the fox said. For instance, if you come at 4 in the afternoon, I'll begin to be happy by 3. The closer it gets to 4, the happier I'll feel. By 4, I'll be all excited and worried. I'll discover what it costs to be happy. But if you come at any old time, I'll never know when I should prepare my heart. There must be rights. What's a right? Asked the little prince. That's another thing that's been too often neglected, said the fox. It's the fact that one day is different from the other days, 1 hour from the other hours. My hunters, for example, have a right. They dance with the village girls on Thursdays. So Thursday's a wonderful day. I can take a stroll all the way to the vineyards. If the hunters danced whatever they choose, the days would all be just alike, and I'd have no holiday at all. That was how the little prince tamed the fox. And when the time to leave was near, the fox said, I shall weep. It's your own fault, the little prince said. I never wanted to do you any harm, but you insisted that I tame you. Yes, of course, the fox said. But you are going to weep, said the little prince. Yes, of course, the fox said. Then you get nothing out of it. I get something, the fox said, because of the color of the wheat. Then he added, Go look at the roses. Again, you'll understand that yours is the only rose in all the world. Then come back and say goodbye, and I'll make you the gift of a secret. The little prince went to look at the roses again. You are not at all like my rose. You are nothing at all yet, he told them. No one has tamed you, and you haven't tamed anyone. You are the way my fox was. He was just a fox, like 100,000 others. But I've made him my friend, and now he is the only fox in all the world. And the roses were humbled. You are lovely, but you are empty, he went on. One couldn't die for you. Of course, an ordinary passerby would think my rose looked like just like you. But my rose, all on her own, is more important than all of you together, since she's the one I've watered, since she's the one I put under glass, since she's the one I sheltered behind the screen, since she's the one for whom I killed the caterpillars, except the 2 or 3 for butterflies, since she's the one I listened to when she complained, or when she boasted, or even sometimes when she said nothing at all. Since she is my rose. And he went back to the fox. Goodbye, he said. Goodbye, said the fox. Here is my secret. It's quite simple. One sees clearly only with the heart. Anything essential is invisible to the eyes. Anything essential is invisible to the eyes, the little prince repeated, in order to remember. It's the time you spend on your rose that makes your rose so important. It's the time I spend on my rose, the little prince repeated, in order to remember. People have forgotten this truth, the fox said, but you mustn't forget it. You become responsible forever for what you've damned. You're responsible for your rose. I'm responsible for my rose, the little prince repeated, in order to remember. That's it. That's it. I hope this reading brought you some peace and warmth tonight. It always means the world to me to share these quiet moments with you. Thank you for spending this time with Mommy. No matter how old you, just this warm corner will always be here for you. Take care of yourself, my love. Get some rest. I love you and sweet dreams. See you in our next chapter.